welcome to your #1 informative, inspirational, educative program, Chartforum Africa. My name is Priscilla Renz. On today's edition, we'll be going political. I call him a political analyst. He's a retired general in the Nigerian army. You want to know who my guest is? He is no other. Well, before I introduce my guest, he's going to be telling us things happening in the country, things that has happened while he was in service, and till date, he's going to analyze the political system in Nigeria. You want to know who my guest is, and I know you're eager, you're so anxious to meet my guest. But before you meet my guest, we'll go for a short break, and when we return, you meet my guest. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hello viewers out there, my name is Buki Ogunote. I'm a veteran actor, television presenter, and of course all-rounder. Keep watching it. News angle. And that's the in thing now. Don't change that. Thank you.
Welcome back. Now it's time for us to meet my guest. He is no other than General Samuel Oviawe. Welcome to Chartforum Africa, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, who is General Samuel Oviawe? Retired, sorry.
Well, General Samuel Oviawe is a retired army officer, a production machines and systems engineer who retired from the army about 20 years ago.
Wow. So, normally on Chartforum Africa, when we have guests on Chartforum, we tend to tell them to give us a profile about themselves. So, just in summary, how was growing up like for you?
I had a very simple Christian upbringing. I had a father who believed in the Word of God and lived by the Word of God, and tried to bring all of us up as godly children. I attended Holy Trinity Grammar School, Savungidawara, after which I went to Ahmadu Bello University and got a degree in mechanical engineering. I worked briefly in an oil company and had to leave there to join the army. I joined the army in August 1972 as a lieutenant and rose through the different ranks till I became a brigadier general. I retired from the army in 1998 after a brief experience in detention in what they called the Directorate of Military Intelligence.
You were detained at the time?
Yes, I was detained for 11 months.
Why? What happened? Why?
Well, the information I was given was that some people felt I was a member of a secret cult.
Okay.
But through the 11 months I was kept, they found out that there was no truth in the allegation. And I was returned to my unit only to be told that I should get retired, because those who committed me to detention felt I would not be loyal to the army after what I had gone through.
Okay. So that was when you were retired?
Yes, that was.
Okay.
Just after that I got retired. After retirement, I spent some time, because of the experience in detention, I spent some time looking at my life up till that time and asking myself, what next? I must confess that there was confusion. I had a family that was very understanding, especially my wife, and she was a very strong support. But for her, I do not think I could have recovered from the things I suffered in detention.
Wow.
But the good side of it is that, just like Joseph, sorry, those who put me into detention thought they were undoing me. But I can confess to the world that that has been the most rewarding time of my life, because I was a nominal Christian, so to speak, because I was brought up in a Christian home. But I met with God in detention.
Wow.
And he spoke to me several times and told me he was keeping me, which truth came to a manifestation when some other things happened during the time we were in detention. Some people came to our aid, because when I left the detention and left the army, I had only 246 naira in my account.
Wow.
And 4 children.
That was what year? What year was that?
1998.
Ooh.
With 4 children in the university at the time.
Wow.
And the 5th was preparing to go in. But God, in His infinite mercy, showed us His power. And we were able to weather through. There were people He sent as helpers. And we remain grateful to those people because they allowed God to use them. And while I was wondering what to do, a few things happened, and I again got help from some other people. And I started a business which has been keeping us going up till now. It is not a money-spinning business, but it has kept us going.
Okay, so what other things are you involved in at the moment?
Like I said, I have a business I'm doing now. I am selling sand.
Okay.
I dredge sand and sell. Not from the sea. We borrow it from the ground and we sell, and that's what we're living on.
Wow.
During the time of thinking of what to do, and based on the revelations I had while in detention, I had a go at politics, not party politics. Yeah,
before we go there, because while I was introducing the program, I actually called you a political analyst. That's my own personal view about you, because I know you're very vast in that aspect. I was actually going to ask you this. Do you have plans to go into politics?
I'm in politics. It's just that I'm not a party politician.
Okay. But you're a card carrier of a party?
No, I don't belong to any political party.
Oh.
Because I also believe that the political parties are actually part of the problems in Nigeria.
So how involved are you in politics?
I tried at a time, because of the revelation I had, to talk to politicians to move away from their thinking that politics is about self and party colleagues, and that Nigeria needed some things to be done right based on the word of God. And that was why I joined a group called, at that time, Southern Nigeria People's Conference.
Okay.
Southern People's Conference, which later became South People's Assembly.
Okay.
When I joined them...
What is the group all about? What is the aim of that group?
When I joined them, the thing was that the South people were shortchanged, and people were thinking of how to get government to do something for the South.
Okay.
And at the time, most of the people thought because of number, because of political strength, the South people could not ask for the presidency.
Okay.
But when I joined them, I told them that that was the wrongest thing to do. And I tried to explain to them why things are as bad as they are and what way we can go about changing it. And that was what led to me moving a motion that we should ask Nigerians to allow a South person become president.
Okay.
And we were in that struggle until Jonathan was elected vice president.
So it was from that group,
yes,
that brought the idea of a southern person, somebody from South coming out as president.
As presidential candidate.
Okay.
But in truth,
the group initiated that.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
Okay.
In truth, like I said, before some of us joined them, they were thinking of the best that the South could get was the vice president.
Okay.
But after explaining to some of the leaders then why it is the presidency that the South should ask for, they voiced the idea. But unfortunately, the core party politicians changed the direction of the game, and because they believe in slogans, they now chose a slogan that said it was our turn.
Okay.
It was the turn of the South people to govern Nigeria. Some of us opposed that nomenclature because we felt it was not addressing the issue that was on ground. The issue on ground at that time was not just getting a part of the fallouts of power. The issue was making Nigeria a better place.
Okay.
But when, as politicians do, they were more in number, and they succeeded in getting the slogan through, and everybody started singing the song of "It's Our Turn." We tried to explain to them that if you say it is your turn, what you're indirectly saying is that you want to do what others have been doing.
Yeah.
And if you are going to do what others have been doing that brought us to where we were, you are not going to change the situation.
Okay, so before we go into that aspect, I'm going to ask you, while you were in the Nigerian army, that was a long time ago, how was the politics then in Nigeria? How was Nigeria politics as at that time?
Well, I cannot say how it was because I was
were
not
you involved?
No, I wasn't involved.
Okay.
While I was in the military, I wasn't involved in politics. But now I know that the situation today is resultant from the type of politics we played in the past,
okay,
which is also part of the problems in Nigeria. People do not think enough. Okay. People don't look at issues critically.
Okay.
We are very peripheral people. We look at the surface and we jump to conclusions.
When we see the things happening now, do you think that the same people that have been in politics while you were in service are still the same people we still have in politics now? Do you think that is a problem we're facing, or do you feel we need younger people to come out and do politics?
Okay. First thing, I don't think it's a question of age.
Okay.
I think it's a question of knowledge. All of us, both old and young, have not been taught to seek knowledge. That is the foundation of the problem in Nigeria. The colonialists did not educate us to think. They taught us the what and the how. they refuse to teach us the why. That is why every aspect of our life, everyone, if you call it education, it is on the decline. If you call it politics, it's on the decline. If you call it finance, it's on the decline. Any aspect of our life, because we were not taught the why of things. We don't know why things happen. Okay, like this light. They say if you press that switch, the light will come on. So you press the switch, the light comes on, you are satisfied.
Yes.
You don't ask, why does it happen? And because you don't know why it happens, when something goes wrong, you can fix it.
Okay. So what do you think is a problem, or do you even think we have a problem in Nigeria? That's the question I should ask you before. Okay, fine. You feel we have a problem in Nigeria. What do you think is a problem, and how do we tackle that problem?
Okay. I have started before telling you what some of the problems in Nigeria were. I believe that as of today, there is only one problem in Nigeria.
Yes.
And that problem is poor education.
Okay.
Which leads to several other things. If you are poorly educated, you cannot imagine the reasons of life. Two, the most pronounced fallout of that problem of education is we do not know who we are. Nigerians don't know who Nigerians are. And because we don't know who we are, we do not know where to go and where we are coming from.
Okay.
And as long as you have that, things are going to continue to be bad. I disagree with those people who say financial corruption is the problem in Nigeria. Financial corruption is the least of the problem in Nigeria.
So how do we know who we are?
When
you say
by studying the history of the people.
We don't know who we are.
Yes.
Who are Nigerians in your own perspective? And how will Nigerians, or how can they discover that, okay, this is who they are?
Very easy. Number one, like I said, the education of the people is vital.
Okay.
When we were in school, they concentrated, because the British wanted it, so they concentrated in teaching us British history as against Nigerian history. Nigerians don't know who they are. They don't know where they come from. Some of us have mystical stories, like my people believe that God created three people, and one of them, they were sent to the earth with different gadgets, and one of them decided to take snail, into which he put sand, and he came to somewhere and poured the sand, and the place became land. Those are mystical things. Science has grown sufficiently for us to be able to look back to our origin and find out who we really are. Because if you know who you are, it is easy for you to fit into situations. But because we don't know who we are, any person just comes with any wind of doctrine and we follow.
Okay. Now, while you were saying, the group, are you still in that group, the South group?
The group is defunct.
Okay. While you were in the group and a president was brought out from that group,
yes,
how would you rate the performance of that president and this present government?
Well, my dear, it is difficult to judge, because the facts of the situations are not exactly the same. Like I said, because of the type of education we have had, the people who find themselves in government do not seek to know what the problems are before providing solutions. When Jonathan became vice president and Yar'Adua was president, yes, Yar'Adua called our group and asked us to do him a blueprint of what we think will make a Nigeria of our dream.
Okay.
And he made a promise, may so rest in peace, that from the first day in office, he will implement that blueprint.
Okay.
Based on his request, the group went home and we did what we felt was good. But the misfortune of it was because of the interest of some of our own members, that document never reached Yaradua. When Jonathan became president, some of us again said, now that our man is there, it is only fair for us to help him build the Nigeria of our dream. So we went back, dusted that document that we had before, removed things that we felt had been overtaken by events, and included things that we felt had become necessary. Again, unfortunately for us, the leadership we had at that time had its own agenda. And that document again did not reach Jonathan. And for the life of Jonathan's government, we were the only sectional group that did not have access to him.
Wow.
Why? Did you say why?
I said wow.
Oh, okay.
And
we were the only group who did not have direct access to him.
But you brought him out.
He knew that.
So how come? Why weren't you able to access him?
Yes, because the core politicians amongst us, the party politicians amongst us, hijacked the movement, and our leader in particular felt it was the only way he could have a strong hold on the group.
Okay.
So
Who was your leader?
Chief Edwin Clark.
Okay.
Instead of carrying us and our plans to Jonathan, he felt his intermediary role between the man and us was sufficient.
Okay, so was he the one that hijacked the group? As the leader of the group?
No, he was not alone. There were many people who...
You had leaders?
We had many leaders.
Okay.
But he was principal in causing us not to be able to have Jonathan properly.
Okay, so there were some particular set of people that had access to the president at that time, not
in our group.
Okay.
He was the only one.
He was the only one
Yes.
that had access.
Yes.
So he was the one that would have passed the message across
That's
to
right.
him, and that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Okay, so how would you rate the government of the past president?
Well, like I said, one was not inside government, so I don't know the inputs he had, and I only know the output we have.
Okay.
I can say confidently that no Nigerian should have been satisfied with the performance of that government, including myself. I'm not satisfied.
So were you disappointed?
Very disappointed. Very disappointed, because we had lofty ideas. And if we had helped him, or we were allowed to help him, Nigeria would have been a better place.
So how would you rate the present administration?
Well, General Buhari...
Let me not
wait, no, I will say it,
Okay.
because he was my boss.
Yes.
General Buhari is a good man.
Did you vote for him?
No, because of the conviction that only a South-South person at the time was in a position to save Nigeria.
Okay, but you were disappointed at that same South-South person that was leading at that
Yes,
time.
I was disappointed at the performance. Okay, but I still had the belief that if we could help him, he was in the best position to make Nigeria a better place.
Okay, so now we are coming back to General Buhari.
Yes.
So how do you see his administration?
When he was a military head of state,
Yes.
the military had a hierarchy, okay, which guided all his actions.
Okay.
So it was not a personal thing. And he was not forced to please anybody.
Okay.
The military wanted good governance. And all they were interested in was supporting him to get that delivered. Okay? Today, it's not the same thing. In fact, he's in a party of strange bedfellows.
Okay, before we come back to the present one, we'll go for the short break, and when we return, we'll continue with our chat with General Oviawe. Don't touch that bell. We'll be right back.
Hello viewers out there, my name is Buki Ogunote. I'm a veteran actor, television presenter, and of course all-rounder. Keep watching it. News angle. And that's the in thing now. Don't change that. Thank you.
If you're just joining, this is Chartforum Africa, and we're chatting with retired General Samuel Oviawe. Back to the question, sir. So we were trying to analyze this present administration and what you have to say about it. Yes,
like I said, Buhari presently is in a party of strange bedfellows. He is somebody who is known for puritanism. He's firm. He wants things done the proper way. But almost every other person in his party came from those political backgrounds of self, political party, and others. Anything that is not beneficial to them as individuals is the last thing they will touch. Once they have satisfied themselves, the only other thing they think of political party. By the time they finish that, if there is still something left, they can think of the people. So you have two people, one who thinks what is right, and another group of people who say, how do we maneuver for our benefit? So it's going to be much more difficult for him. But having said that, they came on the platform of copying what they see as corruption. Which shows, since they chose financial corruption as what they define as corruption, which shows that they had little or no understanding of the problems in Nigeria. And with that, there's no way they can succeed.
So what do you think is the way out? Because if we're looking at it now, Nigeria as a whole,
yes,
we are faced with insecurity.
Yes.
We keep hearing, like yesterday I heard about the killing of some policemen, and I'm wondering how secure are we in the country? As a retired general, how was it then and how is it now, securing lives and properties?
Well, the question of security is difficult to confine, okay? The reason being, you must know why there is insecurity. If you don't know why there is insecurity, you cannot attack insecurity. And that is what I have been stressing. The type of knowledge we have been given does not make us seek the whys in every issue. If we don't know why there is insecurity, it will be almost impossible to turn the table around. Why will a man who is in his sane mind take his gun and face a man who has not done anything to him and shoot him? If we don't know why, that man will continue to do it. But if we know why, and we can educate him that what he is doing is not in his own interest, the chances are that he will not do it.
Somebody holding the gun, and we're thinking, how do we educate this? How do we even know them? That's another thing. How do we gain access to them, and how do
Oh,
we
my
know
dear,
them? How do we educate
my
them?
dear, if any person tells you that they don't know who the perpetrators of the insecurity are, then those people or that person is a bloody liar. If any person claims that they don't know who the people are and how they operate, then we should give up and let maybe nature take care.
So you feel the leaders know these people?
Of course they do.
So what do you think is the way out? Educating them now. How can the leader educate them? Now I'm asking you this question.
Yes.
If you were to be a special advisor to the president,
Yes.
how would you advise him to handle the situation?
Okay. To answer your question, I'm going to paint some pictures. Okay.
Yes.
The first thing is that what is making people do what they are doing? I'll give you some answers. One, they don't know what. They don't know better. Two, they are craving for supremacy. Okay? Three, those who should have addressed the issues that brought about those first two are gaining from their actions. And because they are gaining from their actions, instead of educating them away from those actions, they actually instigate them to continue those actions. So if I were to advise General Buhari, I would say lay foundations to remove ignorance.
Okay.
Lay foundations to remove ignorance in the whole country, not just part. If we can do that, or how do we do that? One,
To improve education.
get people to study who Nigerians are,
Okay.
so that we can teach people who Nigerians are. Reorientate people in terms of the curricula of our educational system. 3, build schools that we indoctrinate people in this new curricula you would have provided. And that should be done all over the country, not in pockets. Today, our government don't think of the people. They think of federal government, state government, local government, and councils. And what do they call them? Wards. That's what they think about, not the people in those places. And because you don't think of the people, you do things to satisfy those tiers of government.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you. You've been talking about knowing who Nigerians are.
Yes.
I'm wondering who are Nigerians? Who are the people that would come and study Nigerians more than Nigerians? We should be able to know ourselves. I know that I'm a Nigerian, and you're also a Nigerian.
Yes.
So, what makes a Nigerian? Who is Nigerian?
That is the question. If I were to ask you, you will say you are an Edo person, maybe.
Yes.
Okay? Another person will say, I'm a Yoruba.
Yes.
Another will say, I'm an Igbo. Then somebody else might say, I'm Hausa or Fulani or TV or something. Okay? That's what we know. What's the link between these people? We don't know.
So you
Okay?
feel knowing...
Even within my people, the Edo people, we create so much differences. And because of that, we have lost the homogeneity of the Edo person. There's no other part of the country, not even the Yorubas, who are as homogeneous as the Edo people. But because of the way the British people gave us politics, politics of division. We have continued to divide. And even today, the federal government is being pressurized by some people to further divide Nigeria. Okay? Whereas, we should be thinking of how to build a nation out of the different peoples of Nigeria. And for you to be able to do that, you must know the people you are going to unite. If you don't know them, creating unity will not be possible.
Yes.
And that is one of our major problems. Nigeria has been divided under so many things: religion, ethnicity, power play. Instead of trying to bring all of us together for the common good of everybody. Today we talk of north, south. We talk of southwest, southeast, south-south, northeast, northwest, north central. All those things are divisions that tear us apart instead of bringing us together. So when it comes to looking at national issues, people first of all see, how does this satisfy me and my people? Because of that, there are so many differences, so many, what they call it, marginalizations. Okay. There's nothing you will do today in Nigeria that people will not consider how it marginalizes them. And as long as you have that, you will not have a common goal.
I guess that's another topic for another day. So, I want to ask, before I tell you to give us the last, I would want you to, if you had the opportunity to be president in a day, what are the 3 things you do to improve the nation Nigeria?
Well, I do not know if it is possible to create that improvement in a day, but maybe one will be able to lay foundation. I've given one of them, to redirect the education system in Nigeria for the benefit of the Nigerian. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to do is to create what you might call normalization, so that irrespective of where you are in Nigeria, you are most likely to get the same benefit from government. If that is done, then this question of marginalization will disappear. And to do that, for me, is easy. Build similar schools all over the country to teach the same thing, how Nigeria can improve. 2, there should be no Nigerian who lives in a place that you cannot get to by motorized transportation. There should be no Nigerian who will need to travel for more than 30 minutes by the slowest means of transport before he can get to a good school, get to a good market to sell or buy goods, get to a good primary health care facility. If you can do that, Nigerians will stop thinking differently. Nigerians will not say, oh, my place is neglected, because what he needs to survive as a human being will be available to him. And you know the funny thing? To get that done, to get it done will not cost us more than 3 trillion.
Really?
To get it done, if it is properly planned, will not cost more than 3 trillion.
Wow.
So, half of last year's budget could have done it.
Interesting.
And in time, it will not take more than 9 months.
Okay. We are almost getting to the end of the show, but before we wrap up, I usually do this. Any interview that is being conducted on Chartforum Africa, I try to make my guests advise and encourage the youth, because we have so many graduates at home. they don't have anything they're doing, some have lost hope. So what do you have to say to them, the youth at home? What do you have to say to advise and encourage them?
They should direct their minds at positive things. The youth are exposed now. Everybody has a mobile phone that is internet connected, so you can access knowledge. You can access knowledge. What they are doing now, they access knowledge, but they use them negatively because of the indoctrination we have given them. They do what people call Yahoo. They can do good things with the thing they have, but they prefer to do bad things. Why? We have indoctrinated them to believe that money is what makes life. If you have money, everybody respects you. So they don't mind how the money is got. Provided they have the money, they're satisfied. So I will advise every youth, use what is available to you for good. But for him to know what is good or bad, we need to indoctrinate him. So it's not just the youth, it is all of us. You find parents who will not mind their children prostituting, provided they bring money home.
Yeah.
You find parents who will not mind their children doing armed robbery, provided they bring money home. You find people who will not mind their children being indoctrinated by Boko Haram, provided they have food to eat. So we need to indoctrinate the older ones, we need to indoctrinate the youths. But for the youth, because of the knowledge they have, they are in a position to apply themselves properly in positive manner to get the best benefit. Because, like you rightly said, tomorrow is theirs. But they are not thinking of tomorrow. The youth of today are not thinking of tomorrow.
Not all of them.
The youth of today are not thinking of tomorrow. Why? They look at their peers, okay, and they see a boy who was a dropper from their class. He comes home with a flashy car, gives them a ride in the flashy car. His mind immediately is switched on. How can I do it? He asked the friend, oh boy, how did this happen? The boy says, okay, I will show you. If he is a good person, good in quotes, he shows him how he did it. If he is not, he tells him, boy, maintain your level. So we need to teach them how, those of us who are parents, need to teach our children that money and quick money isn't the best thing to pursue. That you can have better peace, doing things correctly and growing gradually.
Thank you very much, sir, for being a part of Chartforum Africa. And now we've come to the end of today's edition on Chartforum Africa. If you're just joining, if you missed the show, there is always a repeat broadcast, or you could always go to our YouTube channel, News Angle TV. My name is Priscilla Rems. I'll come your way same time, same station next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Hello viewers out there, my name is Buki Ogunote. I'm a veteran actor, television presenter, and of course all-rounder. Keep watching it. News Angle. And that's the in thing now. Don't change that.